Hey everyone, it's Mara. So as someone who has recently finished high school for the most part, I figured I gathered enough knowledge throughout my years to give some good advice to you guys. I've just loved my experience at high school and I've done a little bit of everything, I feel like. So I think I'm pretty qualified to make this video. This is for, maybe middle schoolers who are about to start high school or just interested in high school, or even people who already are in high school and just want to have a little more wisdom, I guess, because these are things that I learned myself throughout the years or things that people have told me, and just like this is all stuff that I'm taking absolutely to heart. So I think this will be great advice for all of you guys. So this is actually going to be broken up into two different videos. Part one, which I'm doing today, is going to be about actual school, academics, stuff like that. And then part two, which will come in the near future, will be more about like the social life, making friends, boys, stuff like that. All things you do throughout high school. So my first piece of advice, actually, I've written so many and I'm just not going to be able to keep up. So you don't have to get straight A's to be successful. You don't. The ultimate goal for high school is to get into college and prepare yourself for college wherever you may go. If you decide to go to college, obviously there's other things. They drill it in your head that you have to have all A's and be super successful and get all of these AP credits before you even go to college, and that's just not true. Like, you're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna have bad grades, you're gonna fail a test, you're gonna fail a quiz, and it's gonna be okay. Make good grades. You don't want to fail classes, but I'm saying if you occasionally get a B or a C or even a D, like that's a little bit pushing it, but like I was a B, had some C's, like that was me, and I got into like a pretty good school. Only take AP classes if you're passionate about the subject. If you really are a science person and you really love biology, take AP biology, take AP chemistry. But if you're just like debating, like going back and forth, like I don't really know if I want like a huge workload, like AP classes are a lot of work. So if you don't want to put in the effort to learn about this subject for very long periods of time outside of actual school, then maybe taking that AP class is not meant for you. With that being said, it's okay to take on-level classes. The schools around where I live are super competitive and everyone's just trying to be the best. Everyone's taking the hardest classes, and some people like me, that's too much, and that's okay. There's kind of a stigma that's like, if you take on-level classes, like people look down on you and like you're dumb, but that's just not true. Like, especially if you live in like a competitive school district like me, on-level classes are not always easy and they will prepare you for college just fine. Okay, changing subjects a little bit, use a planner and use it every day, or at least every week. So I was lucky enough to have a school that provided a planner for us, and it's actually really cool because when my sister went to Pope, she actually designed the cover of this, and like she did it in graphic design class, I guess, and they use it now every year, so that's really cool. It's just a planner and it's got like it maps out like every day you can write. I like to color code it based on classes. If your school doesn't provide one for you, definitely get one of your own. A lot of people who do even like get these provided for them, like a lot of my friends just buy their own planners, which is fine. It's so important to stay organized, especially when you have 4 or 5 rigorous academic classes that require work. There's no way that you're going to keep up with everything and stay organized if it's all just mapped out mentally in your head. I'm such a visual person, so having a planner, just being able to see all of my assignments and see when they're due, it really helps me stay organized and stay on top of things. My next piece of advice is to become friends with your teachers. Now, a lot of people hate high school and a lot of people hate their classes, hate their teachers, but like teachers are just people too. And for the most part, your teachers want you to succeed. They want to see you do well in their classes. They don't want to see you fail. And if you talk to them and just have conversations with them, it can help them see you as a person in a whole unit of a person instead of just like a number on a test grade, you know? Just having teachers who like you, it takes you such a long way, and it makes the college application process so much easier because they'll be willing to write a recommendation for you, and they will have nice things to say, and they will see you as a person and not just a grade. You are gonna get bullied as a freshman. You're gonna get bullied. People are gonna pick on you. People are gonna push you into lockers sometimes. People are gonna say something to you. People are gonna go, freshman, in the hallway. It happens to everyone. The sophomores, the juniors, and the seniors all went through it, which kind of bought them a rite of passage into sophomore, junior, senior land. Like, I remember going into freshman year, I was so scared that I was gonna get bullied and like picked on, and you know, I did a little bit, but I mean, I just kind of understood that you can't avoid getting bullied as a freshman, but the second you become a sophomore, most of it goes away. So just tough it out, and then you'll get to make fun of freshmen your sophomore, junior, senior years. So don't skip. I know that seems stupid, and like seniors have skip days, whatever, but I mean, obviously, yeah, like if you're a senior, skip on your senior skip days, like. But just try to make it a good habit to get up every morning, get dressed, go to school, because it really will take you a long way. And as you get older and like you start being able to drive to school, I know it gets so much harder, but just developing that good habit of just, you know, maybe I don't feel my best today, but I'm still gonna go to school. Like, just that, having that mindset is such a good thing, and it will really help you with your mental strength. Obviously, yes, there are some days where you are sick. Like, if you're sick, don't go to school. If you are just really struggling mentally, then it's okay to take a day off. So just kind of navigate that balance, which is something that I've definitely had to do, learning like my boundaries and learning like when I need to take a day off, which is okay. Mental health days are okay, but just try to make sure that you are consistently going to school, because it really helps. Again, like with teachers, like teachers will be a lot more generous if you show an effort and you show that you're like showing up to class every day. If something happens and you have to miss a lot of school, like there's like that's out of your control. Go to school when you can, so then when you can't go to school, it's not that big of a deal. Don't stress about college until you have to stress about it. There are freshmen and sophomores who are like going berserk about college. Even like in middle school, I remember people were like, oh my gosh, if I don't do well, like I'm not gonna get into college. You're gonna get into college. There's just no sense. There's no reason to stress about college, to stress about college applications until like the end of your junior year. And I feel like that's not said enough, because there's physically nothing you can do to prepare for college other than obviously, yes, like doing well in your classes and, you know, trying your hardest, whatever. But until you start the application process and like actually looking for schools, then there's just no point. I started seriously looking for colleges that I would want to go to. I think like second semester junior year is when I started really looking. And like, yeah, it's fun, like do it for fun if you want, but don't stress about it, because the time will come where that decision needs to be made. Like that won't be until second semester senior year probably. But I just watched people like have meltdowns over getting into their dream school, over not knowing where they want to go, over all these things about college when they were 8th grade freshmen, sophomores, and that's just so pointless. When the time comes to start doing your college research, like you'll do it and it'll be fine. Just don't stress about it. Oh my gosh, there's so much unneeded stress in high school, and I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you a million times. There is so much stress in high school for literally no reason. Speaking of stress, don't dedicate your whole life to studying for the SAT or the ACT or whatever you're taking. I know so many people who did the SAT prep classes who studied for hours and hours and hours and barely got a score higher than the score they got before they did all that. Like, personally, I didn't study for the SAT. I only took it once, got the score I needed to get into college, and I was fine. Take the test seriously because it is a deciding factor in where you go to school, but like, don't slave and stress over it again. Just don't stress so much. Okay, this is kind of at like where the academic line ends and the social line begins. So this is probably going to be the last part of the video. Get involved. Try new things. Try new sports you didn't think you could play. Try new clubs. Meet new people. Talk to people you never thought you would talk to. Because that's where I found the closest people I have in my life right now. You know, I told you guys in a few videos back when I did a recap of my senior year, I joined the dive team. Like, what even is dive? But it ended up being so fun, and it was such a great time, and I got to swim in the water while it was 30 degrees outside, but it was an indoor pool, so it was fine, and I got to be competitive and bring back my gymnastics abilities a little bit. So just stuff like that I never in a million years would I thought that I would be competing doing flips off a diving board for judges, like, and it ended up being so fun. So just stuff like that. I just can't emphasize that enough, how important it is to just try new things. Find your group of people, and then find another group of people, and then find another group of people, and figure out which ones are the best, because I promise you it won't be the ones you think it is. And my last piece of advice is that high school goes by so fast, so make the most of it. As you guys can probably tell, there's been a common theme in this video about not stressing too much. I just see no point in it. Like, high school is so fun, and I obviously had stressful days, stressful weeks, whatever, but I had minimal stress. Go out and have fun, make memories, spend time with your friends, because before you know it, you guys are all going to be moving to different parts of the world and having your own lives. So spend your last few years of childhood like a child. Well, that's all the advice I'm gonna give you guys for this video, but I do have a part 2 that I'm gonna make in the near future where I'm gonna talk about social life. I'm gonna be talking about relationships, friendships, all the fun stuff. This was more of like the nitty-gritty type stuff, and then the next video is gonna be, you know, the more fun stuff. So make sure you stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.